Your CRM's a mess. You've got contact records with 50 different custom properties, spreadsheets tracking inventory outside of HubSpot, and data living in 5 different places when it should be in one. Well, luckily there is a better way to do this, and it's built right into HubSpot. We're on the Fuse, your elite HubSpot partner, and today we're breaking down all things HubSpot custom objects. So in this video, we'll be covering what custom objects are, a framework to decide if you need them, the top 4 industries that absolutely need custom objects, a step-by-step setup guide for your objects, and finally, best practices and common mistakes to avoid. And like that, let's jump in. HubSpot gives you standard objects out of the box, such as your contacts, companies, deals, and tickets. These are awesome for traditional business models, but what happens if you do need to track something that's unique? Things like equipment with serial numbers, training courses with completion dates, property listings with viewing histories. That's where custom objects comes in. So guys, custom objects is a data category you can create yourself. And before they launched in 2020, businesses either had to keep critical data in spreadsheets, use larger CRMs like Salesforce or Dynamics, or they were confined to the properties and reporting of our standard objects. Custom objects allow you to create a fully custom solution for your business's unique needs. And later in this video, we will walk you through a step-by-step setup guide to your custom objects. But here is a high level of how they work. So when creating a custom object, you can add custom properties to track data, create associations between objects, build custom reports and dashboards, trigger workflows and automation, and even filter and segment your data. And guys, if this breakdown has been helpful so far, please give us a like and subscribe, and don't miss out on all of our next videos for other HubSpot tips and tricks. And up next, we're going to be diving into real use cases for your custom objects. Now, this might sound awesome, but not every business needs custom objects, especially if you meet this criteria. If you have fewer than 500 contacts in your database, if your business model fits the standard contact, company, deal flow with HubSpot, if you're only tracking 2 to 3 unique data points that don't fit standard objects, or you have fewer than 5 team members who use HubSpot. And in these cases, a few extra custom properties, they usually do the trick here. But if you do meet the following criteria, you probably do need to implement custom objects in HubSpot. One is if you're managing data with one-to-many relationships, like one company with many subscriptions. Other examples are you have over 10 custom properties that all relate to the same category. Or you're using external spreadsheets because HubSpot doesn't allow you to track your specific data. And finally, you might want to automate processes around your unique business components, but standard objects don't let you do this. And guys, here is a simple test to see if you need custom objects. First, ask yourself, do I track a category of data where each thing has its own lifecycle, properties, and needs its own records? For example, vehicles each have a VIN, maintenance history, and location. Courses each have a schedule, capacity, and instructor and students. Real estate each has a listing price, square footage, and status. Equipment each comes with a serial number, service dates, and location. So if you answered yes, then you probably need to implement custom objects in HubSpot. Custom objects are available only to enterprise users, which isn't cheap. Marketing Hub Enterprise starts at around $3,600 per month, and Sales or Service Hub Enterprise starts around $150 per seat per month. So the question isn't just, would this be nice? It's, will this pay for itself? For example, if custom objects lets you cancel expensive external databases, if they save your team 10 hours per week in manual data entry and help you close 20% faster your deals and give you better visibility, then they definitely pay for itself. We get asked about custom objects all the time, but honestly, about half of the business that ask us, they don't actually actually need them. And that's totally okay. So before you waste hours building something you don't need, grab our free HubSpot Custom Objects Decision Tree. It's a simple 5-minute quiz that'll tell you if they are right for your business, plus what to do next based on your results. So go get it now. The link is in the description. And next, let's move into real examples of how companies can benefit from using custom objects. So guys, here are the top 4 industries that typically use custom objects and why. Number 1 is software as a service or SaaS companies. They typically need to track different subscription tiers, which all have different renewal dates, usage limits, and billing information. The old way would be to cobble together deals to track all of this data, but now you can create a custom subscriptions object to stay organized. Next is real estate. Whether you're an agent, brokerage, or a management company, real estate is one of the most common use cases for custom objects. Multiple agents can work on one listing, and multiple buyers could be interested in the same property, along with a host of other data you need to track. This is a nightmare to track together with contacts, company, and deal properties, but is made easy with custom objects. Education, like schools, universities, tutors, and training centers, need to track courses, student enrollments, certifications, and instructor schedules. The old way would be creating confusing deal pipelines or maintaining separate spreadsheets. But now you can create a custom courses or certifications object to manage your entire academic operation from one dashboard. The 4th most common industry is manufacturing and construction. So these industries typically need to track inventory, equipment maintenance schedules, suppliers, contractors, and product serial numbers across multiple locations. This is made easy by creating a custom inventory or equipment assets object to manage your entire supply chain in one place. Now, do we notice the pattern here? If you are managing any physical or digital assets that has its own life cycle, specifications, and relationships between multiple objects, that is a perfect candidate for a custom object. And next, we are going to be going through the step-by-step setup guide. We've helped over 2,300 companies customize HubSpot so they can win more business and improve retention rates, hundreds of which have used custom objects. So here is our 5-step setup guide of the requirements, planning, creation, testing, and training you need to stand up a custom object. First, there's 3 mandatory items to get started. You will need a HubSpot Enterprise subscription because custom objects aren't available on professional or lower tiers. This is a significant investment, so we'll talk about ROI in a minute. Second, you will need to be a super admin to get the permissions you need in your account because regular users can't create custom objects. Third, and most importantly, you need a plan. Custom objects are really hard to delete once created, so follow along to get it right from the start. So, before you touch HubSpot, answer these questions. What are you tracking? Be specific here. Products is vague. Active subscriptions with renewal dates and usage limits is crystal clear. What properties do each record need? List everything: name, status, dates, numbers, and text fields. How does this relate to other objects? Will each subscription link to one company or many? Will each course link to multiple contacts in HubSpot? And who needs access? Which team members will create, view, and edit these records? Make sure to spend an hour here to save you 10 later down the track. Now let's create your object. To do this, go to Settings, Objects, Custom Objects, click Create Custom Object, then give your object a name. Choose a primary property, which is usually the name of the object. Add all the properties with the correct field types that you'll need. Then set up associations to other objects. And finally, you'll need to configure permissions. In total, this should take about 15 minutes. Now let's test this. So don't roll it out company-wide on day one. You'll want to create some test records with your team to check if all your properties make sense, to check associations work correctly, if reports are pulling the right data, and workflows trigger properly. Fixing problems now will be a lot easier than waiting until you have 500 records. And finally, guys, is training your team. Your team, they will need training to know when to create a new record, how to fill out the required properties, how to link records to contacts, companies, or other objects you have, and where to find their data in reports. Make sure to customize these sessions to your specific process, and we even recommend recording them so you have them on hand for new employee onboardings later on. And a few great pro tips here that we have before the next section. Pro tip 1. Use drop-down menus and checkboxes for properties whenever possible. This is because free text fields lead to inconsistent data and open the door to human error. And pro tip 2 is to set required fields with intention. Too many required fields and people won't log their data, but too few and you'll have incomplete data on your hands and an absolute mess to clean up later. After helping hundreds of businesses set up custom objects, here are the do's and don'ts of custom object success. Starting with the most common mistakes so you can avoid them today. Mistake number 1 is creating too many objects too fast. Companies get excited, create 5 different custom objects in 1 week, and the result is no one knows how to use them, and it creates a mass data chaos. So start with 1, master it, then expand. Mistake 2 is not planning associations. You create a projects object, but forget to link it to your deals. Now you can't see which deals generated which projects, so make sure you plan all your object associations before building. Mistake 3 is ignoring data migration. You might have 1,000 subscriptions in a spreadsheet, so don't manually enter them one by one into HubSpot. Use HubSpot's import tool, but clean your data first and then bulk import. And if you do need help here, we have an in-depth video on migration, so check that out. Mistake 4 is data governance. When you need to create a custom object, who can edit them? Who decides when to add new properties? Answer these questions now or face a massive data mess in 6 months when everyone's creating their own duplicate records and you have conflicting data. Finally, moving into best practices. So guys, we recommend number 1 to document everything. Create a simple playbook and record training sessions to keep on hand for your current and your future employees. Best practice number 2 is to review data quality monthly. Set a recurring task in your calendar to check duplicates, incomplete data, and broken associations so you can fix problems before they get too big. Number 3, use workflows for consistency. If every new subscription should automatically send a welcome email, build a workflow. Don't rely on people to remember all of these manual steps. And practice number 4 is to build reports early. Create the reports and dashboards you'll actually use, and this confirms your data structure works and gives your team great visibility into key metrics. Now, if you're watching this and you're thinking, okay, we absolutely need this, but our setup is too complex, or you know what? We just don't have the time for DIY. We have helped hundreds of companies set up and optimize their custom objects without breaking their existing workflows. So guys, use the link in the description to book a 30-minute complimentary HubSpot consultation with one of our experts. During the call, we'll review your specific situation, map out exactly how custom objects can help you scale with less headcount and help you win more business. That's all for today's video, guys. So make sure to give us a like and subscribe and check out all of our other content so you can become a master of HubSpot. We'll see you in the next video. Bye.